G'day. In my previous Update 35 video, I fearfully invited comments. I needn't have worried. I think it's fair to say that we come from different perspectives, different backgrounds and so on, but you've got to agree that there is a degree of anxiety over Update 35. Some of your comments were really very detailed because, after all, with a complex problem, it's impossible to have your say with just a few short sentences. Thank you all for the incredible effort in responding, and I really do value and take on board all of your thoughts that you presented. As I record this video, it's just over 48 hours since ZOS provided the cold, hard numbers. We've got the numerical details of what the changes mean generally, but also a skill-by-skill, class-by-class breakdown by numbers. Up to now, the ESO community has been very emotional with their response to the initial news of Update 35. After all, it's understandable because we invest so much time, energy, and money into a game that we love, and I'm afraid to say that the most recent news about Update 35, the reaction will only intensify. If I may, can I briefly look at this from the ZeniMax Online Studios perspective? They're a business, they're in it to make money, and for that they need lots of people playing ESO. So far, over 13 million players. ZOS need to make ESO attractive to newcomers as well as to retain current players. The parent company, of course, also want to ensure that they get as much bang for their investment buck as possible. When I hear ZOS say that they want all of the game to be accessible to all players, I hear them. Housing and furniture, pet collecting, mount collecting, etc. are all available. It's up to us if we choose to use them or not. Battlegrounds and trials are accessible too, but there's a catch there. It's not as easy as that. I'll promptly run into trouble when I realize that the rotation I'm required to do requires too much skill or too much time spent practicing. ZOS have to make a decision. They've invested good money in battlegrounds and trials, and yet not so many players participate in them beyond that initial dabbling. They are effectively inaccessible. ZOS are not getting a good bang for their development buck return. But there's a second problem, an additional problem, and that is that the server architecture is badly out of date. In fact, ZOS have said so themselves. In fact, the server architecture is being worked on right now. The new update 8.1.0 Update 35 patch notes of 48 hours ago make it really clear that we will be doing less frequent damage over times. That helps the servers, I'm sure. Add in the heavy attack resource, regeneration rates have been increased a bit, and the nerfs to light attacks, and you can see that it's not a coincidence that this all ties in together. It's an interesting synergy, this solution to trial inclusivity and the server load problem. I'm just laying it out there. I don't necessarily agree with the problem solution. Right, let's get into those numbers that I've been talking about. If you're a Lightning Staff user, grab a box of tissues. You'll be needing them for your tiers, and if you do vet trials, then what I'd suggest is you pick up your keyboard now and throw it hard at your monitor. Okay, Lightning Staff heavy attacks, you'll be replenishing 2970 Magicka flat rate down from 3632. That's a reduction of 18.2%. Resto Staff heavy attacks, you're not as bad off. You'll be down 7.7%. Okay, so let's say I've got a Lightning Staff equipped. I'm rushing around a delve, trying to round up as many mobs as possible, spamming my instant AoE until I'm out of Magicka. I'll be slowed down up to 18.2% while I do that. The remainder of heavy attack weapon resource regeneration is up a little, with the standout being dual wield, which is up 16.5%. Insofar as a change to the ratio between a single light attack and a single heavy attack is concerned, I don't know, because before and after numbers were not provided. We were told that heavy attacks will remain more resource driven, but now also produce significantly less DPS losses than before. So yes, the damage ratio is changing, but purely because of the nerf to light attacks. Damage over time abilities are now 20 seconds in duration, with each tick being every 2 seconds, regardless of whether it's single target or AoE. Total damage of DOTs is up, that's total damage, not DPS, but to quote directly, since they will now take longer to deal this damage, this will result in an approximately 33% overall DPS decrease to DOTs, while making them more worthwhile in long-term flights and easier to keep up. So that 33% average is going to be much greater, especially for a lesser quality player such as myself. Okay, I've been playing my Necro a lot lately, so let's have a look at Boneyard. Don't you love those tombstones? Whoop, up they go. Hey, we've got a Necro in the group. Increased damage by 21% approximately. That's a direct quote from ZOS themselves. Wait, no. Ticks every 2 seconds over 20 seconds. Before they were 1 tick every second over 10 seconds. You do the maths. I come up with a DPS loss of 39.5% for that skill alone. I'm very sorry to say, but horror stories abound. Necrotic Orb from the Undaunted skills, that's down exactly 36% on the same calculation basis. And back to Necros, Restoring Tether is down 9.5%. Yeah, it's okay to look at all the numbers. No, I've gone through them for all the classes. Lots of really big increases in like damage up 81% and things like that. Yes, but if you double the duration, then the damage has to, of course, be 100% or more for the damage to actually go up. So unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that I can't really see any joy in any of the figures at all, really. There's a per second loss in heals, as we just saw, and also damage right across the board. Let's look at Flurry, the first skill in dual wield. Now, we've got, with update 35, we'll have 4 ticks within 800 milliseconds. Currently, it's 5 ticks within 600 milliseconds. Now, to quote ZOS directly, their total damage remains the same over their channel time. You might think, oh, great, remains the same. Woohoo, total damage, yes, winning. No. It's over a longer duration of time, so DPS-wise, that's a 25% cut. I'll provide a link in the description of the source material, the original post by ZOS, so that you can see for yourself if you want to. But I'm really curious to know how you plan to deal with this situation, and I dare say there might be a few of you wanting to quit ESO after all this, but I won't be, because changes like this, they do happen from time to time within MMOs, whether we like it or not. And I've had a lot worse, a lot worse. So much so that when WoW continued patch after patch to tamper with my enhancement shaman, that was the end of it for me. I could take no more. It was incessant. Hasn't got to that stage yet with ESO for me, but I'd love to know how you plan to deal with this. And once again, I apologize for bombarding you with numbers. I don't really get that serious. Me personally, I just like to have a laugh and have a really good time in ESO, as I'm sure you do. And yeah, it is what it is. But thank you very much for putting up with me right through to the end of this video if you got that far. I'll catch you later. Spicy Chris over and out.